There is an old Celtic legend that tells of a great feast hosted by all the elder gods in days gone by, and to this feast they invited giants, dwarves, elves, and all the fey folk. They even invited all the trees of Britain, and indeed there was much revelry and merriment at that feast. That was, for everyone except the alder tree and the willow tree, who sat by the window and looked out longingly to the riverways which they had become so accustomed to. Upset by this seeming apathy towards their great party, the gods banished the willow and the alder from the feast, and sent them to dwell for evermore by the riverside. And to this day, that is where we still find alder. As such, it's become associated with many water-like qualities: flow, purity, cleansing, and renewal. It is said that if you need to let go of old emotions that no longer serve you, reset, and begin on new beginnings, then you should sit and reflect under an alder by a fast-flowing river, and there let the old magic do its work.
In Irish mythology, it's said that the first man was carved out of alder wood, and the first woman was carved out of rowan wood. I've always found this really interesting because humans, just like rowan and alder, are coloniser species. Rowan is often the first tree to be found regrowing up in high mountainous craggy areas, whereas alder typically loves wetland, especially alongside riverbanks. And it's here that we begin to see the intersection and meeting of mythology and reality, as the people who crafted these mythologies a long time ago would have been, to a large extent, basing them on observations that they saw within the real world all around them. So when I first moved here about 2 years ago, I looked at the land, the lovely North Wales field, saw how wet it was and thought, oh, it'll be perfect for alder trees. So I went out and I bought myself 5, thinking I was very clever, and I planted them in autumn and they rooted in winter and they shot up in spring. The only problem was, alongside them also shot up about 500 other alder saplings, as you can see here, which meant that the £30 I spent on saplings was largely redundant. And I thought about this, and it seemed to me that this was perhaps nature or the land's way of just giving me a gentle tap on the shoulder and perhaps keeping my ego in check and quietly reminding me who's really in charge of the process here. The leaves of an alder tree are concave and it grows clumps of purplish catkins. It's the only broadleaf tree in the UK that produces cones, and they drop off the tree this time of year and they flow downstream with the water, and that's how it propagates itself. It is a very soft wood when it's initially cut, which makes it great for carving. But then if you soak it in water, it hardens, which means it's fantastic for building things like ships, clogs for walking around in wet environments, construction panels for making canals, anything that needs to be in a wet environment. Alder wood is perfect for it. It also has antifungal properties, meaning it doesn't rot in water, which is why it's so well adapted to growing here by riverlands. And those are just some of the uses of alder wood. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy these videos on tree lore, then please like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments below what video you'd like me to do next. Diolch yn fawr.